Hello everyone, welcome to another video from the AI Loop. Today we'll be looking at LM head, or also known as the language modeling head if we expand it. So let's start. So the intuition behind making this video is that personally for me too, when I was starting out with transformers some months ago, I could not really find an example or like the intuition behind what is an LM head or how the output vectors from the transforms is actually being converted into the word, like how are we getting from the vector space to the word itself. So this is not also being talked about much in the internet. It is a fairly simple concept, but I thought it'd be great if I make a video for anyone beginning with transformers so it'd be easy for them to understand. So let's start. Let me start off by drawing an encoder layer and decoder layer, like just a transformer architecture here. So we know that we send input through the encoder. So let's just say like these are like series of vectors, the input vectors representing like word A and like B, like whatever that is. So it's going in and then like we're getting out into the decoder, and then the decoder starts generating sequences. So remember that like the decoder is an autoregressive in nature. What that means is that like when you have like a decoder and your output is, let's say it consists of 4 words, the decoder does not like output the 4 words at the same time. What it does is outputs the first word, and then that goes into the second word, and that outputs the second word and goes into the third layer time. So like the previous word that is generated by the decoder goes as the input. So like here there's like just a CLS token, and here there's like just 1 as an input. Here there's 1,2. Sorry, there's like CLS here too. Okay, so that's how it is. So it is autoregressive in nature. So we'll see how it's performing, how like the language model head, like the LM head, is working in this context. Let me just push this over here. So let me write a sentence. Let's say this is going to be so let's say I give this to the encoder and I want like, or let's just say like a model like GPT, like where we have the decoder only. Let's just say I encode this and then I want the model to be predicting the next words. So how the LM head works is that I have the decoder here, and this is getting converted into vectors. So like we have the whole input sequence here, and then it goes into the decoder, and then we get an output here. Okay, we get like 1 vector, and then let's not really care about the size of the vector right now. I'll get into that details. And this is passed on to LM head. This is what we call the language modeling head, where like we predict the word that this vector belongs to, and yeah, that's when we get the word, like we choose which word this vector belongs to. So let's just expand onto this part right here. So an LM head consists of a linear projection and then a softmax. So it's fairly simple. What really happens is that when you have a vector, and let's just say like this is a vector of size, let's just say like let's a vector of size 4, but on the side we have a vocabulary set, right? As a transformer you have like a vocabulary set on which your transformer has been trained. Let's just say this consists of like 0 to like 10 words. Okay, like we have like our transformer knows only 10 words. So what we do is project this, so this gets converted into 10 words. Like, sorry, I'm not really drawing, but like yeah, let's just figure out that the size is 10 for this, and it's getting a bit messy here, so I'll take this here. So what happens is for this 10 size vector, we apply a softmax over this, and then it gives us a probability distribution. So I'll just walk you through what softmax does. So what softmax does is like it takes like, let's say like there's like values in this, it takes every value, and then it's like, let's say if we want to calculate the probability of this word, so we do e to the power of x by sum of everything in that vector, like almost, let's just say this is a, like all the way until a. So the sum of all the e to the power vectors that goes in the denominator, and this is in the numerator. So this gives us a probability. I know I haven't written this properly, but if you want formulation, please go and Google. It's fairly simple, but it gives us a probability distribution. And then what really happens is that now we have like a vector with 10 now we have a vector that consists of 10 spaces, and this each space, like the output is like a probability 0.1, 0.3, and it goes on until like 0.1, and all of these add up to 1 because it is a probability distribution. It is a property that, like, when we're representing a probability distribution, they add up to 1. So now that we have this, we take the vector with like the highest probability, let's say this one, and then, like, because this is in the second position, like let's say like the index starts from 1, we go to our vocabulary set, and then we grab the second word. Like let's say this is for the context, let's say this is the word good. So now what's gonna happen is that this is going to be a good, like the transformer predicted that the word is good. So again, this gets added to the input, and the same thing happens, that this again is passed into the decoder, and then like it gives out a vector representation, and the vector is projected into 10 spaces, a vector of size 10, and then this gets passed into a softmax that gives us a probability of each word belonging to, like the probability of each word belong to that particular spot, like right here. And that's where we pick the word. Like let's just say it gives out the word day here. So this is how the LM head works. It's basically passing the vector, and we're like retrieving the probability of all the words belonging to that particular spot, like whatever it may be in the sentence. And there are like ways on, like there are different decoding strategies. This in particular, where you pick the one with the highest probability, is called greedy search. But there are interesting ones like beam search, and like there are other variants of beam search. I'm gonna make videos on that, but on a base, this is how this simple concept works. We put an LM head on top of any we could put it on top of an encoder layer 2 to retrieve the words. So that's this. Thank you for tuning in. Subscribe to AI Loop. I'll see you in the next video.